You'll notice he no longer suffers delusions of humanity.
Affirmative.
Don't worry. Don't worry. I'm not gonna do what everyone thinks I'm gonna do. Flip out, man.
Has editing your content become a burden, or you just don't have the skill set?
I wish I could focus on content production, but post-editing takes so much time and effort.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
We'll look no further. Here at Asylum 99 Studios, I can help you create professional quality videos that will be sure to captivate viewers. With my creativity and skill, along with your content, assets, and ideas, I can bring your vision into the simulation. I offer the following services: video clipping and organization, content creation, VFX, SFX, and motion graphics, intro and outro assets. Requests may be taken upon further discussion. So if you're a content creator, short on time because you're out living your best life, or you wish you could focus all your energy into producing content, reach out to Asylum 99 Studios today.
What are you waiting for?
What am I waiting for? What am I waiting for?
Don't settle for mediocre videos. Hire me as your freelance video editor and create videos that meet your standards. Asylum 99 Studios. Release your creativity.
What's going on, kinfolk? Today, we're going to talk about slave for pay. That's right. We're going to talk about the people that were in your face during the scamdemic and how they picked the dollar bill, y'all, over doing what's right and exact. It's pretty effed up what I done stumbled across here, but I'm not surprised. We live in a world where you ain't nobody if you ain't got fiat. And we see just how much people will do just to get a step above you and I. So let's get to it.
In an April 16th interview with Polly Tommy, Dr. Paul Thomas explained how the American medical establishment incentivizes pediatricians to fully vaccinate their young patients and fines them if they don't.
I told you, man. I told you. Don't fuck with me. I told you, no fucking kids.
Welcome to the Asylum. This is an experiment if you haven't put that together yet. Not only an experiment, it also doubles as genocidal extermination. It's not a game. Make sure you're listening, rewinding, doing whatever you need to do to write down this information so you can go back and look for yourself. So you can spread it on to the next person. Because you know you're not going to get this on Fox News or CNN.
Vaccinations that have been proven to cause more death and harm than the diseases they are said to be preventing.
Oh, it's true. It's damn true.
Well, as other practices started kicking people out of their practices if they weren't following the CDC schedule, I was getting more and more families who didn't want to do any vaccines, which was fine with me. So we took an entire month of every single billing sheet.
I'm just looking down this list, right? And the one that stands out to me is flu mist. You ever paid attention when you're watching TV shows and they're doing like parodies of real life? And you'll see products and medicine stuff with crazy names. Wouldn't flu mist be one of those? I know a lot of you bougie people, it's Flumista or some bullshit like that.
Why, you stupid fuck.
Flu mist. They're telling you what that thing about to do to you.
And on every visit, on the back of that, our providers would mark off what vaccines we recommend according to the CDC schedule. Families could decline them, And then our billing department, insurance company by insurance company, vaccine by vaccine, we looked at how much money was being lost for vaccines that were refused, just the admin fee. So there's three main ways you make money off of vaccines in pediatrics. The number one is the admin fee. And you get about, it depends on the insurance company, every contract's different, but I would average it out to say about $40 for the first antigen and $20 for each subsequent antigen.
Man, this is some bullshit!
Well, now we know why you're not going to get no homeopathic or, natural or herbal remedies and therapies when you go into the pharmaceutical chop shop that y'all call hospitals.
So let's just say a 2-month well baby visit. There's a DPT, that's 3 shots, 3 antigens. Hib, Prevnar, Hep B, polio, rotavirus, 6 shots, 8 antigens, about $240. Thank you for giving those shots. Multiply that by the fact that I was getting 30 to 40 newborns per month. They're coming in repeatedly at 2 months, 4 months, 6 months, 9 months, 12 months, 15, 18 months, and age 2. So we looked at the admin fee loss, and for my practice that was billing at that time about $3 million gross, we were losing $1 million, over $1 million in vaccines that were refused. So you cannot stay in business if you're not giving pretty close to the CDC schedule.
Man, this is some bullshit!
Did you hear that? They just told you how to beat the system. But a lot of you slothful motherfuckers ain't gonna do shit. You wanna hurt these hospitals and pharmaceutical companies? Resist their ass out of business.
Can you dig it? Can you dig it? Can you dig it?
Just doesn't pencil out economically at all. But let me tell you about the other 2 ways we make money from vaccines. One is the markup, that's small. They don't allow a lot of profit on vaccines as far as markups, but they do this thing called incentives or bonuses, and it's called a quality bonus. Well, in pediatrics, one of the main quality measures is how well you vaccinate.
Man, this is some bullshit!
Isn't that interesting? It has nothing to do with how healthy your kids are. Like when I studied my vaxxed versus unvaxxed patients, the unvaxxed were so incredibly healthy.
To this day!
No shit. You mean to tell me that people who didn't inject nanobots into their body and become a xenophage or a xenodrone are more healthy than those that did? Just say it ain't so, Doc.
They rarely got sick. They rarely would end up in an emergency room or in a hospital or with any chronic condition. So being unvaxxed results in very healthy kids who don't use a lot of medical dollars. Every health system should want that, but it's reversed, it's all flipped, it's bizarre.
What's wrong with y'all niggas? What's wrong with you?
It's not bizarre. They're trying to kill you.
You stupid fuck!
You're supposed to have had your kids up to date, about 80% of them by age 2. Guess what percentage of my population was at fully vaccinated age 2? 1%. The goal is 80%. So Dr. Paul gets an F minus. Basically what that means is not only do I not get paid the normal amount for everything else we do in the office, I get dinged maybe 10 or 15% off of those RVUs, relative value units, that are ascribed to everything you do in medicine is given a value. If you do very well on your quality measures, you're a really good vaccinator, you may get an additional 10%.
Man, this is some bullshit!
You hear that? You want to make it big as a big time MD? You got to slave to pay, baby. You got to rack up that karma body count. You got to get blood all over your hands. That ain't very sanitary, is it?
On everything you do in your office. That's huge. SIDS is sudden infant death syndrome. When you hear the word syndrome, it means we don't know what it is. We don't know what causes it. Well, we actually have a pretty good clue because there are 6 data sets, studies, that looked at SIDS when that infant died relative to when they got a vaccine. In one data set, 97% were in the first 10 days after the vaccine. For the 6 other studies, a couple of them showed that 50% of the deaths happened in the first week, but 75 to about 90% of those deaths are happening in the first week after vaccines in all these studies. We've known this for decades. The countries that have the most infant vaccines have the highest infant mortality.
So I have to ask the parents of my generation, what the hell's wrong with y'all?
What's wrong with y'all niggas? What's wrong with you?
Y'all was too lazy to go get a book, crack open the internet that y'all had just got with your dial-up internet, and look up some shit. Y'all couldn't put 2 and 2 together. Your kids all fucked up health-wise, and you out here shooting them up, and you can't figure out what the fuck the problem is. Called denial. But I ain't gonna be too hard on y'all. I'm just letting y'all know. So when y'all see me around here swinging tomahawks and catching scouts, don't try to back Rando down off the damn cliff.
You stupid fuck.
Don't back me down, because y'all should have been up here swinging this tomahawk. So stand to the side and let these young ninjas do their work.
Guess where the US stands? We are #1 in infant vaccines. We are #1 in industrial countries for infant mortality. There's a document, 450-page legal document, that has tables showing for every single disease for which we have a vaccine, there are more deaths from the vaccine than there are from the disease for which we have that vaccine.
Reporting for InfoWars, this is Greg Reese.
Just like during the scamdemic, more people died from that stupid ass shot than the fake ass disease they scared you niggas with.
Smell like Betsy here.
So, I don't ever want to hear anybody talking about some trust the science. Oh, you think you know better than a doctor? Or you an armchair surgeon? I don't want to hear none of that bullshit.
I don't care about none of it, nigga.
If you trust these people that got a white lab coat on, you a fool. Fooling and drooling. You understand? They are not to be trusted. They are your executioner. That's like the mouse trusting the house cat. Like the lamb trusting the wolf. It's gotta stop. And once you know how I say it over here, once you see my video, you can't say you ain't know no more. The onus becomes yours. And then whatever you choose to do from that moment on, you're gonna have to pay for it when you transition up out of here. So with that said, get y'all lives together, protect these children, and I'm gonna catch y'all on the next one. Peace.
You need people like me so you can point your fucking fingers and say, that's the bad guy. So say good night to the bad guy. Go on.
I am a human being. I exist.
Delusions, Mr. Wordsworth. Delusions.
Send the word.